I want to talk about that. So
Okay.
you talk about success, the awards. What pressure does that bring? So you're ascending, you're moving up, you're getting the awards. At some point, there has to be a sense of pressure, I would imagine.
Mhm.
What was that like? What pressure were you under? Or did you feel a sense of pressure to go even further, to succeed further, open more businesses? And what did you experience?
Well, I think I experienced many different types of pressures. Pressure is an amazing thing. People talk about peer pressure and things like that. I think because of the type of person I am, I've had a lot of leadership attributes, since I was really young, and not being much of just a follower, just do something because everyone else is doing it. But I think my pressure more comes from the pressure of meeting a goal that I have, or the pressure of helping people, or feeling like I didn't meet the need to help a person, or I have a very high standard of excellence in the things that I do, and so I think that's the greatest pressure for Michael E. Parker is Michael E. Parker, and so I think in starting these businesses and realizing that these weren't just businesses anymore, they were organizations of people, and each of these people had lives and families, and you start feeling a pressure to perform and to make sure that, are you guiding the business the right way? Yeah. Are you leading the business the right way? Are you missing anything? Are you handling the problems the right way? Is there something going on that you can't see that's gonna hurt the business? Those are the pressures I think that were more important. Not so much in the pressure that I got an award, can I get another one? I never really got caught up in that. I think it was more the pressure of, how do you make sure this thing continues? And then I think, speaking of the pressures, I think one of the greatest challenges was when the real estate market crashed. I mean, that was, gigantic, because out of all the businesses that I had started, the real estate industry was a big, big support to everything I had created. It was so much money to be made in real estate and loans. And, it was a lot going on that we couldn't see coming. I really wish I would have known the danger that I can see now in hindsight, the different programs that the industry was offering, and all the big boys at the top, while they were playing around and coming up with these programs and stuff, and we were using them and we didn't know that it was going to be a balloon that would bust. And, when that busted, the pressure of trying to figure out how to deal with the challenge of that, a lot of money was lost. A lot of people that had confidence in me lost money. There were situations where, had I have known what was going to happen just even the next year, I wouldn't have made a decision this year. Absolutely. Or I wouldn't have put certain things at risk, but you just didn't know that the severity of what was coming. If there was anything you thought was safe, it was real estate, and real estate in California. Yeah. But it turned out California was the worst place to be at that time, and it was when that began to take place. And, one of the toughest meetings I've ever had was to have to, we got up to like 200 people in our business, but to meet with your team and, literally have to look them in the eye and tell them you can't afford to keep them and keep things the way they are, and that's probably a greater pressure than anything you ever want to feel, and you have to have the courage, and you have to face the music. You can't run and hide. You're the CEO. You say, I want to be the CEO. I want to be the CEO. I want to be in charge. I want to tell everybody what to do. But when things go south, and you got to be the CEO of that southness, and you got to be the CEO of the pain. You got to be the CEO of communicating hard things. You got to be the CEO of looking people in the eye and telling them something they don't want to hear. You got to be the CEO of owning failure or challenge, or that's when that's when you really feel pressure. And I would say that, once kind of experiencing that, then there came, just other pressures that came from that. The pressure of reinventing yourself, the pressure of finding out what to do now, the pressure of rebuilding, the pressure of, how to take what is left over and try to make something of it. And so I would say that these were some of the more tumultuous times of my journey as an entrepreneur, but I wouldn't trade them because it definitely, I really feel that's when I became a CEO.
That's good.
Because I was a CEO, managed millions of dollars, saw a lot of things, did great stuff, a lot of awards. But a CEO is really, not just a chief executive officer, but you start learning that CEO has to expand to a chief empowerment officer, a chief excellence officer, a chief encouragement officer, and I can go on, but you start seeing that, oh, this is not just about being called a CEO. Now I've got to have vision. I've got to figure things out. I've got to motivate people. I've got to get people to believe in what's unbelievable. I've got to reinvent. I've got to figure out a new product, a new service, a new approach. When you are supposed to be an entrepreneur and everything is ripped away from you, what do you do? And I think at that point is when I had no one to rely on. My whole executive team left. All of the standard bearers that I could rely on were gone. And, that's when you start to really think about, do I have what it takes to be a CEO, or am I a CEO? CEO, because you say, I can't do it. I don't feel I can do it. And I see why so many people quit and stop, when you look at the statistics, because they had moments like that. And, justifiably, they just couldn't stomach what it takes to keep going.
Wow. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, no problem.
That's amazing. Everybody sees the award. They see the high points. Not a lot of people talk about the low points.
Right.
And you have to have success and failure to really, truly succeed. So would you say moving forward, is that we started this session talking about that pivotal point where you had that business meeting. It seems as if after you had to reinvent yourself, you have to kind of start over. Did you feel like you were starting over? Did you feel like, what was that like? Start over, to reinvent, to do something different?
Well, I think it was, I guess, fearfully wonderful, I could say. It was kind of fearful to think about what to do next. But to be honest, some of the best ideas I ever got in my life happened then.
Wow.
When you get your back against the wall, I think it's human nature that, when you're in a moment of complexity, a moment of great trial, a moment of nowhere to turn, you maximize what your brain can do. You maximize what your ideation can do. And I think that's when you learn more about who you are and what you're capable of, is when you have to do something, right? You have to fix something. So,
but why did you have to? Michael, you were talented. You could have gone and got a job. You could have gone and done many things. Why feel like I want to keep going? What was that?
Well, I think I was driven by the vision that I started off with. I wanted to start businesses. I wanted to help people. I wanted to create job opportunities. I wanted to create resources to fund the things that were important to me, giving back to community and society in a way that was meaningful to me. I love helping young people. I love helping, community organizations that I feel uplift people spiritually. So, I wanted to, I felt like that's what I wanted to do, and that I just got disrupted in that journey. So when that vision is strong, and when you believe in it and you really believe in it, then when something happens, you look at it more as, it's a disruption to a path you must walk. And that's what I felt. And that's why I felt like I had to keep going, even though, if you're a praying person, this is the time you start praying, you start praying and starting to try to really figure out, what's your purpose and what am I doing? And, and for all the entrepreneurs that will hear this and CEOs, you're going to have that moment where your back is against the wall and you need to really make a decision. And this is not cut out for everybody. Some people, sometimes you find out that it was just time to go get that job, and go join up in the corporate world, or sometimes that might be the right decision, right? You can't be afraid of that. But for those of us that just knew that there was this internal flame that you could not put out, and that you begin to open your mind up to what is possible. And then the next thing you know, if you really are an entrepreneur, if you really are meant to do certain things, then there's something that you have to get or have that you see that you can build on. Because if nothing comes to you, then there's nowhere you can take anything. So that's sometimes your answer. If you don't see what to do, then maybe you shouldn't do it. But if you get a vision of something, then you know there's something you have to do.